एक कदम आगे फिर दो कदम पीछे।
हेल्थ और टेस्ट की लड़ाई में अब आप रहिए 2 कदम आगे विद फिलिप्स एयर फ्रायर। इसकी ट्विन टर्बो स्टार टेक्नोलॉजी कुक्स विद अप टू 90% लेस फैट। There's always a way to make life better. Innovation and you. Philips.
These beautiful baby calves, it's so exciting to play with them. I haven't seen a baby calf for a long time. I'm gonna go play with them. They're running away from me. Hey, welcome back. I'm just having the best time of my life. I finally got to I was trying to creep upon the calf which I was eyeing at, and she ran away, but I'm going to find her for sure by the end of today. And really, really cute calf, and the farm is so beautiful, and something which I haven't been to for a while, thanks to the lockdown. Yeah, so we are, at World in a Plate Live. Very, very special event for us. It is an event for charity. I'm going to quickly say thank you to Tarun. That was a lovely dish, and amazing stuff. Keep that going. You guys have to keep pushing the envelope, and that's what World in a Plate gives platforms for. So absolutely something which I want to talk about today is my personal experience on failures. And if you do not learn from failures, rather if you learn from failures, you actually haven't failed. So that's what happened in 2017, where we left off yesterday. So we were trying to do back-to-back events in Bangalore and Mumbai, 2 days of World in a Plate. Typically World in a Plate is a 2-day event, but on that year we did 1 day in Bangalore, 1 day in Mumbai. And like I told you, we almost missed the flight to Mumbai, and I knew that deep down there was something different which was happening, and I never felt it was completely wrong, but you get that feeling which was different, right? And so after we almost missed the flight, the whole crew lands up in Mumbai, and the chefs land up in Mumbai, and my backup crew, who's going to take the next flight, was of course supposed to join us on the next flight, and we start production. How massive World in a Plate can be. Start production for the next day. Happens that we had such bad luck at that time that brilliantly all 10 of them missed the flight. And tell me about it, the nightmares I got that night. And of course I'll tell you why they missed the flight later. It was quite a silly reason, but they missed the flight. And post that, next day was almost a disaster. We had a lot of starting issues, production, you know how production can get, right? It's very, very difficult. To add to that, that was, I think, 4th of June 2017. India and Pakistan met for the very first time in 5 years. The venue was close to empty. Typically, World on a Plate gets over 5,000, 8,000 people. We had 1,000 people. But everyone who came there, I promise, had the best time of their lives. That is what I took that from that failure. And then we realized from 2018 we have to do a minimum of 2 or 3 day festival. And then that's history. So we've been creating history for the last 5 years now, and I'm happy to say that we lived that moment. Coming back to the pandemic, to a great extent, I see how humanity has worked around its successes, but also we'll have to dig deep and see how many times have we failed, what all have we done, right and wrong, mostly the wrong things, and we pick that up and we become a better place to live. So let's learn from what we are, many of us are learning so much during this time. People are getting fitter. There's so many good things. Let's take the good side of it and go from here. Quickly moving on, this is about my failure. I'm sure you guys can, tag me and talk to me on my Instagram. Kiran Sons, founder of World on a Plate, talk to me about it. This today is exciting. The last person who's going to make, who's going to do a masterclass today is Simon Toohey, a dear friend again from Australia. I have a lot of friends in Australia. He just finished MasterChef 12, season 12. Very exciting cook. Go, and his DIY kit is available today. Just go and order it. Exciting stuff. Cauliflower is going to make something amazing out of cauliflower. Go get it. It's available on Swiggy Genie. You can of course go to the website, click on it, and maybe there are very few orders left. Go get it. So many chefs doing their master classes today. World on a Plate goes live for charity, like I said. The next chef is really exciting for me because I love Indian chefs who are pushing the envelope around the world. Johnson, who is the co-founder of L'Or and place we are at, he appeared on the Michelin Guide. His dish appeared on the Michelin Guide 2018 in Singapore and Malaysia. And I'm going to go on and talk to him about it in a bit. I'm going to talk to him ask him those questions. But his masterclass is just about to start, and I'm going to give him the center stage. Do remember, this is World on a Plate goes live. It's for charity. There is a link for charity, Keto link. Go contribute. Your hearts out. The restaurants, 35 of the top restaurants around the country are participating with their signature dishes. Go and order. Give them some joy. They want to give you joy. Go and give them some joy. Order. And so we're going to have a great Friday, and looking forward to come back and catch up with you soon.
Johnson here from L'Or, and today we are at Farm L'Or, which is a farm right in the midst of Bangalore. Right here we are growing about 120 odd species of plants and other pulses and things like that. We have our own cows, we have our own own chicken farm as well, and whatever we grow here is all about natural farming. Like every single thing what we do here is completely organic, and it's in tune with the nature. So the kitchen which is going to come over here, and it's almost COVID has been a little bit hard on us as well. So the kitchen, which was the restaurant which was about to open back in March, has now taken some time now, and it should be there in another 2 months or so. So that's about Farm L'Or. But Farm L'Or again is going to be a space where we are going to celebrate nature. And everything here, it's going to be completely in tune with what we do to nature. So even the cooking, it's not going to be on gas. it's going to be on wood because there's quite a lot of mango trees all around, and all these trees contribute to the fuel for us. So we want to do that, age-old cooking of going back to the roots. Again, L is for local work, where we use quite a lot of local influences, local cuisines, and so many other producers as well. O is for omnisense. That's another thing which we are looking at. It's about play of senses. R is again going back to our roots, and then E is eclectic. So that's what lore is about. But again, farm lore is a concept which is born from lore, where we want to keep it much more simple and much more sustainable as well. So we want to reduce the carbon imprint as well. That's another thing which we are looking at. We don't want to rely on food which has been flown all the way from France or all the way from Japan. We totally rely on producers which are right next to us, which are not given so much of importance. But again, those are beautiful raw materials which are from the very heart of our land. So one particular thing which we are going to do today is about the Banur lamb. The Banur lamb is the Wagyu of lamb. That's what people in Karnataka call it. It's basically a lamb which has so much of fat into it, and because the breed, that particular cattle breed back in Mandya, which is about 150 odd kilometers from here, has this peculiar and unique variety of sheep, which are bred for basically milk. The milk is very fat content is really high, and it's bred for so many other things. One basic thing is for their meats. These meats goes really high during the time of Bakrid and so many other festivals. But again, these are the meat which are from this particular land. Again, which we don't really see upon, because when it comes to luxury dining and all the things, we always tend to look at lamb which is from either Australia or from New Zealand. But this particular lamb is right under our nose, and we have never seen it for this long time. So I've got the lamb loin, which I've cleaned it, now, and this is exactly what the lamb loin looks like, which is basically from the from the ribs. So we just take the meat out, and I've cleaned and kept it. So you can use any lamb. It could be a boneless lamb, or it doesn't have to be really Banur, but Banur gives you that perfect quality which you're looking at what we want to cook at. So if you actually see it, I've cut the lamb into a slice, which can cook really, really fast. So that's how the lamb is. And then the other ingredients which we are looking at here are, we have some the chilies which I've plucked from the farm around, which is the bird eye red chilies. And then we got some dry red chilies as well. We got some onions and tomatoes. We got these, which are nothing but the huli greens, or pulisoppu they call it here in Karnataka, which grows around the wild everywhere, and these are really, really good as well. It tastes a little bit tangy, a little bit sour, and these are one of the best things to cut down all those tissues when you actually marinate the lamb. So I've got pretty much 2 bowls of them. One is for my garnish and one is for my puree. And then I got some garlic. I got some fenugreek. I got some kachampuli, which is nothing but a tamarind, which tends to have more sourness to it, which is dried and a little bit smoky in nature as well. Then you got some peppercorns. You got some borage leaves, or otherwise known as ajwain leaves, back here. It's actually very good, at this point of time, when you're fighting a little bit of cold and stuff like that. What my grandma used to do is put it in a little bit of hot water with some pepper, boil and give it to us. It cures. And people here in Karnataka actually fry them as fritters as well. That's one really good thing. It kind of has that oregano-ish ajwain flavor. Okay. Then we got some cumin and some rock salt, and then we got some rice, which is nothing but the local rice you get from in Karnataka, which are those short grain rice. And then we got some horse gram, which has been soaked overnight. So we have soaked this horse gram. So the horse gram tends to leave a bit of color. So that's what it is. So we don't want to discard that water, because we are going to make a stock out of it. So again, today, what we are going to do today is we are going to split this into 4 different parts. The first one, where we are going to marinate it. marinate the lamb. The second one we are going to prepare the stock. The third one is where we are going to prepare the accompaniment, which is the rice and the osram. And the last one, which is the fourth one, is where we are going to plate that particular dish. So it's going to have 4 little parts. So for the first step, we are going to marinate the lamb as I told you. That's step 1. For that we need to broil some cumin seeds. A little bit of peppercorns. 3 tablespoons of peppercorns. Some fenugreek. And a lot of police As it broils, you need to add the other ingredients as well. As I was telling you about the borage leaves. So the borage leaves goes inside. A little bit of garlic. And the kachampuli. So this one you need to break it down a little bit. Rock salt, and then whatever we have broiled, it goes inside. Goes inside. You need a little bit more of this, and then a little bit of water, just enough to grind and make a paste out of it. You can use a mixer, you could use any blender. Ideally, the mortar and the pestle would do the job perfectly well as well. But then, even a blender or a hand blender is just fine. So as you blend it, you get that aroma of those spices just breaking down and mixing up, blending with the whole of borage and the huli sopu. The marination time, ideally I would say somewhere between an hour or so, at least an hour or so. But then if you leave it overnight, it's always going to be much more better. So I've got the marination, which I'm going to put it on the lamb, and it allows it to sit on this lamb, overnight. Overnight is the best. If not, if you have 1 hour, it's totally fine as well. So that's stage 1, which is basically, I'm going to run it down once again for you. We broil the spices. Basically, we got a little bit of cumin seeds, some peppercorns, and fenugreek. We broil them. We add a little bit of borage leaves and some chilies in there, and some kachampuli with a little bit of huli sopu, which are those greens, which are a little bit tangy. So we have blended them into a paste, and then we have marinated the lamb, which is ideally the banur lamb, if not, the normal lamb as well. That's perfectly fine, or mutton, whichever you get your hands on. This could even suit with your chicken as well. But again, if you're going to do it with the chicken, add a little bit of less pepper, because chicken is a little bit of a milder meat. So add a little bit of less pepper to it. So this is going to sit in the refrigerator overnight, which will do wonders. If not overnight, just an hour or so. So this is stage 2. What we are going to do now here is we are going to do the stock, where we are going to put the rice and the other accompaniments with. So for that, as I before told you, we are going to pluck some onions. So we have got some onions which we plucked from the garden. We got some tomatoes which we took. I love these tomatoes which have fallen off the creeper basically. These have a little bit of more flavor onto it. As it was not holding on to that particular plant. So these tend to have a bit more flavor. So it's actually good for your stock. So we got 1 onion and 1 tomato. That's going to do the magic, not anything more. So it's just a rough cut. You guys don't need to sweat on this a lot. It's just a rough cut, basically nothing. If you want to take the skin off, it's up to you. If you don't want to take the skin off, it's a different thing as well. Just a rough cut, there's. One tomato. Now, sometimes we don't tend to take these kind of tomatoes out, but these tomatoes have more flavor in them. So that's what we're going to do. And then the other main important ingredient in the stock is the residue which we have been collecting by soaking the horse gram, basically. So we soaked these horse gram last night. As you could see, these are soaked really well, and we got quite a lot of nutrients which are coming out as we soak them. So what we are going to do now is, it's pretty simple. The same pan where we have broiled our spices. So use that same pan as well. Add a little of onions into them, and the tomatoes. Add some garlic. Add some peppercorns. And some red chilies. Cook them off. And then this liquid which is left. Just add it there. And allow it to boil, the best time I would say suggest this, let's say 20 minutes or so. Allow it to boil so that you could get that good little stock which has so much of flavor and depth. You collect it and keep it for you to cook it further. So that's about it. So this is stage 2 where we have prepared the stock, which is basically taken out, spread a little bit of onions, a little bit of spices in there, and some tomatoes. And we have used the water where we have soaked the horse gram. So that's exactly what's going in. Alright? So allow it to boil. That might take another 10 or 15 minutes or so. So as it boils, we are going to prepare the other stuff as well. So yeah, as this is going to boil or simmer for, let's say, 20 minutes or so, we are going to prepare the accompaniment which is going to pair with our lamb, our Banur lamb. So for our pairing of the Banur lamb, we are going to use, as I said, the soaked horse gram with a little bit of rice, where it's going to be cooked more of a sort of a porridge kind of a consistency, more like a porridge or more like a khichdi of sorts, but it's going to have that most comforting feeling to it. That's what we are going to do. So for that, you need not much. You just need half an onion at the most. Just need a little bit of onion just to give that. Just half an onion and some garlic. Half an onion is good. And some garlic. So garlic, rough chop, nothing much. Just got some garlic and some onions. And what we're going to do here is, I'm going to transfer these to the back range. And I've got another pan here. Another pan here. Let's fry it off. A little bit of ghee. This is an house-made ghee for us. We get from the Alika cows here. but then you could use any ghee. Desi ghee is just fine, just a little of ghee, and then again a little of cumin. We got some ghee and cumin seeds just crackling in there. This is washed and soaked rice. 4 spoons of it. Fried in ghee, and add 4 spoons of that and 4 spoons of the soaked horse gram. Allow it to fry a little bit before we add on the stock. As it's getting fried, you add your chopped onion and garlic into it. Normally we add the onion and garlic first, but this is a different way of preparing. You want the rice to be fried before you add your onions and garlic, because the onions and garlic have to be really soft as your other things tends to cook into it. As it keeps frying at home, I would say you would need a little bit more time for that particular stock to cook. But then what I'm doing here is I'm going to go ahead and you see the time, it's like 10 minutes since that stock has been there. So I'm just going to use that stock. But ideally I would say like it's better for you all to cook that stock or simmer that stock for ideally for 30 minutes before you go to this next process. Like the rice is getting fried with the horse gram really well, and now we got the stock which we're going to strain. Then we are going to add on to this So what's going to happen is we can always keep a little bit of stock for us to later finish it off. But what's going to happen now is, because we have fried the horse gram and the rice, it's going to impart a nice little flavor onto the stock, and that's going to complement the lamb when we are going to grill them. Ideally, what we here at Farmroad will be doing is we'll be cooking them over wood fire. As I said before, we are going to get those mango woods and we are going to cook in those mango wood open fire. So that's going to impart a lot of flavor as well. But at home, I would say just go ahead, toss it up on your tawa over a high heat and cook that lamb, which I'm going to do next. So you leave this is going to take at least, let's say another 15 to 20 minutes for it to actually cook and come to that consistency where it's going to resemble a little bit like your khichdi or a porridge or a risotto of sauce, but that's how it's going to be, and that's going to complement the soft succulent nature of the lamb, which is going to be fried later, right? Every now and then we're going to actually add a little more stock which you already have stored into this, and stir it around. Keep stirring because the rice tends to have a lot of starch as well as the horse gram, which is going to stick to the pan. And at the same time, don't leave this lamb. If you leave a little bit more, it might overcook, but then this lamb is almost there, I would say. It's almost done. Now we are going to plate it. But again, it depends upon how you want to plan yourself and how you want to cook. So right now I'm cooking only for just for one portion because Balur lamb is a little bit of an expensive commodity. So you just want to cook one portion. But most of the time at home you could cook in any lamb or any given lamb. But again, the best feature or the best way to enjoy this particular thing is by marinating it overnight and cooking all the way through in your pan itself. That's where most of the nutrients are. And I'm going to just use all these herbs which I've got it from here to just cover it off. This puli sopa is going to taste really well with the lamb, although it's marinated previously as well. It's going to add a little bit of freshness to this particular dish. And these purple flowers are nothing but the same flowers of same flowers of the holy sopa as well. So there you go. Charred Banur lamb with horse gram and horse gram porridge with local rice, all from Karnataka.
कदम आगे फिर दो कदम पीछे
हेल्थ और टेस्ट की लड़ाई में अब आप रहिए 2 कदम आगे विद फिलिप्स एयर फ्रायर। इसकी ट्विन टर्बो स्टार टेक्नोलॉजी कुक्स विद अप टू 90% लेस फैट। देयर इज ऑलवेज अ वे टू मेक लाइफ बेटर। इनोवेशन एंड यू, फिलिप्स।
Chef. Hi,
Hey,
how are
Kiran.
you?
How are you?
Smells so good.
Thank you, thank you. Just been cooking some banur lamb, and that's what it is.
Yeah. So I've been walking around the farm. It's just beautiful. You know, it's such a beautiful farm, and the calves are so cute. I tried to catch a few of them. Bad luck. It's been amazing. So what's happening?
I've got some jackfruit for you then.
Wow. So, I was telling them that I definitely want to eat jackfruit because one of my favorite fruits and lovely. So, what do you cook, chef, today? Because, of course, I've introduced it. I mean, I was just so busy. Your farm took me away.
Okay. That's actually a good thing. So
Yeah.
we always want to get over here, and
Okay.
we always want to get away from the city. So we found this beautiful little space, which is where we are growing around 130 odd species of plants over here. So
Wow.
every single thing what we do here is from this particular environment. So this is all about celebrating nature.
Nice.
So basically, if you see this particular plate over here, it's got the traditional hulisopu.
Oh, wow.
So it's grown all over here. So we just came in the morning, we foraged it everywhere, and that's what is there in our plate, And then there's a beautiful piece of lamb right at the bottom, and it's actually the local banur lamb, which is within this area. We want to cut down on those carbon footprint, and that's why we got it right over here inside. So what we do is we actually marinate that with all the spices and herbs which we get all around this farm.
Lovely.
So and then we cook it on the Spitfire, But then right now, as it's a test kitchen, so I'm just cooking it on this, on a pan.
How long is this place going to take to set up?
It's going to take at least a month or so, give or take. But we are already there. We are doing a test. Every day we'll be developing recipes over here. There's almost like we don't believe on a set menu. We want to do a blackboard menu. So whatever we forage or whatever we get on that particular day, it's going to be there on the menu.
Nice.
So that's what we are doing.
So what's your background and how did you start? And I'm sure you've got an illustrious career, but we want to, of course, keep it quick because
Keep it quick, yeah. I don't want to talk
yeah,
long, but
yeah,
then it's almost like 20 years. I used to work for Taj Coromandel. I started my career over there. Then moved on to the US, worked there for 8 years or 9 years, doing scraps, all kind of restaurants. And then I found my other gig when I moved to Malaysia, where I was heading a kitchen called Narodi, which came on in the Michelin Guide. And then I said, why am I doing all this over here in Malaysia, which was not my country? And then that's when I connected with my longtime friend, which was Kaushik. And then Kaushik said, Johnson, come over here, come to Bangalore, and let's try something what we always want to do. And this is Kaushik's farm, and then he gave us this beautiful place for us.
Kaushik and Atria Foundation have really done great. I mean, the World in the Plate, as you know, all you guys have supported, is for charity. The Atria Foundation has fed 150,000 people for almost 60 days. Every day, 150,000 people. I think they're most generous guys, and I'm so happy that it's, I never expected Atria to have such a beautiful investment like the Lore property, and I'm glad to be here. I definitely want to meet your other chefs. I think
Sure.
the next chef is celebrated and worked at the Noma.
Yeah.
Maitri, who's going to do the next masterclass. I definitely want them to come.
As I said, it's a very small core team. It's just the three of us. So there's
Maitri and Avinash, right?
Maitri and Avinash.
Please come, join us. We're going to get busy in this area. Hi, how are you?
Hello.
Hi, how are you? Avinash? How are you? We're still keeping some social distancing, I guess, because, as much as we can.
As much as we can.
So, Maitri, tell us about your dish coming up right now, and you're doing something sweet, I guess.
Yes, a dessert.
Say dessert.
Yeah.
I want to know about that.
Sure.
Yeah.
So it's not a very traditional dessert like how you probably expect in restaurants.
Yeah.
Using our philosophy at Farm Lore and a lot of fermentation that's going to happen. So we've been brewing a lot of kombuchas in the past 1 month. So I thought we can make a dessert based on the kombucha. So kombuchas can be used in a lot of different ways. So one way is like
Is kombucha a fat?
no.
Not a, okay.
No, I think it's very good. I like kombucha. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's going to be kombucha glazed roasted carrots,
Okay.
with some fresh berries to give the freshness, and some Halikor milk that we have made into yogurt,
Nice.
like a espuma,
Yeah.
and then a crispy milk on top.
You got a dairy here as well. I
Yes,
see
we have
a full family of cows,
Cows.
and
We got like 18
such
cows.
beautiful,
yeah.
family. I see
18
that.
cows and almost like 40 chickens. Like
Yeah.
we are going to be, taking all those eggs away. But then,
Yeah.
that's how it goes. Yeah.
Lovely. So I'm excited to see your masterclass, and and Avinash, where are you from? And why did you join Lore? I mean, we are so excited that we are promoting chefs like you. People who've gone around the world come back to their passion, and especially today's Sustainable Friday, and lots of chefs, even the chef, Simon is one of the winners, runners-up of MasterChef. Today's is going to do a master class. He's about sustainable food. It's exciting to have all you guys do these things, and why? How do you guys? I mean, in this pandemic, how are you coping to this situation?
The pandemic is another thing,
Yeah.
We were supposed to start Farm Load in the month of March, so
Sure.
everything got stagnated and all the workers have gone back. Some of them are not here, and we have just managed to start it back again. But again, it's going to take a little bit of time, and then there's logistic problems as well.
Sure.
But then, as of now, we are doing pop-ups, and we do load at home, and then we do weekend pop-ups or weekend takeaways, which we do. So that's also got really good responses
I
from the
ate
Bangalore.
your sour nuts. It
yeah.
was unbelievable.
Thanks a lot.
Amazing stuff. Looking forward to it. Sorry, where are you from? And quickly, I want to know more about it. I cut you off that time. So sorry.
From Chennai. Like
all of us are.
all of us are from Chennai.
Yeah.
So I did my graduation from Moksha Manipal. She's my
Senior.
senior actually.
Okay.
So
That's why she's tying your hair. I'm sorry.
So yeah.
So you're excited basically about Lore and
Yeah, very much excited. Like it's very close to me as is for Chef Johnson and Chef Maitri as well. It's
So you
something
guys are doing an
very
amazing job, I must say, and thank you for being part of World in a Plate. Huge respect for you guys to follow your passion, and I know this is going to be a really great place, and I'm happy to be here with my crew, and thank you for taking care of us, and see you guys soon on the other side, and thank you again from
Thank you.
the team at Lore, Farm Lore.
Thank you.
guys.
Stay safe.